Hey everybody, Heiden here with the December 25th Christmas turn. Um, Lodrik said it was a wash of some sort, some good, some bad air battles, so let's take a look and see how we did. I'm hoping we had a good day again like last time. And here we go. So right off the bat, Lodrik grabs Calipan just by being within proximity of it. We've got nothing there. I don't like what I'm seeing out there in the Indian Ocean. Whew, good thing we left there, huh? We had some subs sitting there in Puerto Princesa, and I'd elected to move them out of the port this last turn because I was concerned that this was coming, and it was. So it looks like he's coming in with a lot of destroyer minesweepers. It's probably all he's got left to use for escorts. Okay. More of the same here at Puerto Princesa. And we're taking casualties, of course. I think all that is there is a base force. Oh, and the salmon gets a hit with no explosion. The Mark 14 curse. But he knows we're here. We put a dent in the hull. That's fine. A lot of these patrol boats don't have the best ASW suites. So the chances of us taking heavy damage from one of these is slim. Okay, so the salmon shoots 2 torpedoes, gets a hit, but does not detonate. And if it had, it would have obliterated that patrol boat. Okay, so now our AM is actually doing an ASW attack on his subs at Merak. All right, so we get a couple hits on the I-121. Probably nothing super damaging, but, you know, that's good. Okay, so this is quite a ways away from Hawaii. So he's got his subs deep into our supply lines, into our supply lanes now. This is 10, 15 hexes or more away from Hawaiian Islands. So he's moved his subs deep into the deep water out here. He fires 2 torpedoes and misses. These are ASW patrols right now. All right, so see, this time Lodrik sent fighters to Kuala Lumpur because of our cap trap last turn. Of course, we're not there, but I think we got him a little shook. And Nanyang, he's sweeping over there, looking for our P-40s, but they're not there. Looking at Xi'an, we're not there either. We're not at Kuai Lin either. He cannot find us. We're hiding. Okay, same thing, Kuala Lumpur. These are all sweeps. Oh, he's getting desperate. He's sending fighters in all directions looking for us. Now he's sweeping over Singapore. We are not there. Big bombing raid here in central southeastern China. Let me take some casualties here. Nothing destroyed, though. We're going to have to endure a lot of these raids. We have a long way to go to get out of the danger zone. And these are our aircraft making an attack on Samar. You guys like that? We're getting some hits. We're doing a port strike at Samar. And it appears we're hitting stuff. Unfortunately, we took some aircraft losses, but we did get two bomb hits into this Salmidono Maru. Pretty low attack here. 2 aircraft destroyed, but possibly a ship sunk. We'll have to wait and see. Alright, the overcaster was not helping us. Now we have some Chinese bombers coming in from out this way, doing a port strike here too. Just seeing if he's got any ships in Canton. I wasn't sure if he did or not, but it was worth a shot, right? Just trying to shake him up a little bit. We got to keep him on his toes. Okay, he's sweeping over Singapore. Still looking for our elusive fighters, which are no longer there. All right, so we got some problems out there in the Indian Ocean. Big problems. Okay, so these are some aircraft that we're sending out, trying to do something to his... Hey, we got some hits, guys. Yes. These Kingfishers, they never miss. Yes. Let's see what the Catalinas can get done. Yes. Fantastic. All right. So these are some aircraft that we launched from a base that I won't tell you where. And we're really stepping up the intensity here in the Dutch East Indies because I'm just tired of Lodrik running amok around here with nothing to stop him. So I decided it was time to get serious. And we are really going after him with everything we got. So his invasion force here at Sadat, 2 ships take bomb hits, one of which is on fire. I don't know if either one of these will sink, but they're definitely damaged. We got some Seagulls, which typically have some pretty accurate bombing as well. Fortunately, looks like they missed. Oh, they didn't miss. Never mind. Okay. So the Seagulls get some hits here. A single hit into the Taihei Maru, 1 bomb hit, heavy fires. And this ship appears to have been loaded with something. So awesome. Good job, Seagulls. And we got more coming in. The Dorniers. They're angry. They're hungry. Yes! Outstanding. And the Dorniers pack some big bombs. 300-kilogram bombs. Yes! Outstanding. Tokai Maru is getting slammed. Okay. Alright, so we had 2 Dornier 24s coming in from a location I won't say where. We got multiple bomb hits with fires on 2 ships. Excellent. Excellent. Aha. Uh-oh. Oh, this isn't good. Okay, well, I think we've located, wow, we got a 0. I think we located part of his carrier task force. I believe this is the one that was over in the Dutch East Indies. Let's just say that way. He probably moved it back to Babel to rearm and refuel, and I'm guessing he took the fighters off of the carriers and put them at the airfield at Babel for training, because they train better when they're not attached to a ship that's docked in port. But unfortunately, I gambled and I lost with these B-17s because all of his fighters are basically up in the air right now. So I seriously doubt we get through to the port. I'm just going to fast forward through this, but if we have any of these B-17s come up, I'll be really... If we have any of them get through, I'll be really surprised. Oh! We get through! Can we get some hits? Ah. Doesn't look like we're going to get any hits here. Well, I think the rain didn't help us, and the fact that we got bounced by zeros didn't help either. So we definitely know the Hosho flight group is there. All right. So I'm pretty sure I saw a zero get shot down. It's not shown here, but I saw it. But this did cost us quite a few B-17s too. It's a lot, and the rest of them were all damaged. So I would call this raid a failure, but we had to try. All right. So I'm pretty sure that's the end of our air raids for this turn. Overall, oh, something sank. Something sank. You guys hear that, right? Hopefully it's one of his ships that we bombed. Something sank. All right. So the rowboat at Canton makes an attack on the downs, but misses and fires a substantial amount of torpedoes. A lot of these rowboats only carry like 10 torpedoes. So he just fired most of his torpedoes, and he's probably going to have to go back for more. So nice job on that. Oh. The Sims sinks? The Sims sinks? Wait, what? What is that? Sims? Huh. I'm a little concerned about that. The Sims should not have been anywhere near anything that could have caused it to sink. That's a huge problem. All right, the Japanese captures to date. What happened to the Sims? Okay, so that's really it for this turn. No real other land combat this turn. You saw the air raids, but we have a very concerning situation with the Sims, which is a ship that should just be barely coming onto the map. I can't even imagine what could cause the Sims to sink, but that would, if that's the case, that's a huge loss for us. We'll definitely take a look at this in the intel analysis here, because I can't imagine what could have caused that to occur. Okay, get some new ships coming in at Cape Town. Some other aircraft moving around here. These are probably the A-24 Banshees that we were looking for. Wow. We got to find out what happened to the Sims. That's what I'm most concerned about right now. That is very concerning. Okay. First, I'd like to start off and say that I was panicking about nothing. The Sims is just fine. It's fully intact here in this task force coming up from Panama. See? No damage. Nothing's wrong with it. I don't know what I was getting all upset about. But I was seeing during the turn in the little, the info box in the lower left that the Sims had sunk, which makes no sense. It's totally fog of war. We did lose a destroyer, but it was not the Sims. So we'll go through the intelligence report now, but everything's okay. No, I don't think anybody else is worried about me but me anyway, so let's take a look here. Okay, we'll start with planes. So merry belated Christmas, everybody. We're now on the 26th of December. It's been a bad year so far for us, right? Aircraft losses. So we lost a total of 3 B-17s today on my ill-fated attempt to take support strikes at Babel. We ran into his little mini carrier task force air group was parked at the island doing training, and they just happened to be in the air when we were there. So we lost 2 aircraft to air, and 1 to flak. Kind of a waste, and that was on me. I I was concerned that that might have been what was going on there, and sure enough, it was. We lose 2 PPY-5s to ops losses. He loses 1 Nell, a 0 that we actually shot down, so I'm curious if a B-17 gets a kill for that, because I'm pretty sure a tail gunner or an aerial gunner got that. We also lose both a DB-3 and an A-29 to flak, but that was over near Samah when we had a little port strike action there. And that's basically it. So 7 losses for us and 2 losses for him. Not the ratio that I like, but we did a lot of stuff today, which we'll get to. Looking at ground losses, we actually kind of stemmed the tide a bit. We didn't take too many, but you notice that he gained 4 more ground loss points here. I'm sure a lot of those were due to some of the bombings that he endured at the hands of our brave pilots today. Ship sunk. Last turn. We're showing the Pope. The Pope is the ship that sank during the turn that was erroneously listed as the Sims. So the Pope was a ship that was damaged a long time ago, either at Manila 3 weeks ago or in subsequent battles in the Makassar Strait. I'm pretty sure this was a Manila damaged destroyer, and unfortunately, as it was leaving Balikpapan, the damage that was on board was just too great for it, and it sank, which is unfortunate because I was looking at the upgrade path on these, and they make really good destroyer escorts, but we've lost a lot of Clemsons in the Dutch East Indies, mostly due to my incompetence. A lot of those were attached to the ABDA fleet that got murdered. And some of these were sunk in Manila, which I could not control. But that's the only ship that we're showing sunk. Interestingly enough, we're showing no Japanese ships sunk. And, you know, okay, maybe. I think we sank some. I heard a lot of ship sinking noises, and only one of those were mine. I think we sank a couple ships, maybe 2 or 3 or more, and we'll go look at where that occurred. All right. So let's look at top pilots here. During this turn, unfortunately, we lost a lot of pilots. We had a total of 4 KIA and 1 wounded. I'm sure 2 of these or 3 of these were over Babel, where the B-17s, and another 1 or 2 of those may have been at the port strike at Sama. And this last turn, we didn't have any more. We didn't have any more aces made. That's okay. So let's look at the situation now. And today I want to start in China because I need to let you guys know. Oh, little glitchiness there. Our situation in China has changed dramatically from one day to the next. Okay. He has a massive force here, 100,000 troops. Okay, this is probably 3,000 to 4,000 AV right here. Plus more troops coming in there. Troops coming up here. Troops here. And look at this unit here. 29 units. And which way are they going? This way. He's encircling us. He's going to try and encircle us at Loyang and trap us. As much as I wanted to hang on to Loyang with 2,000 assault strength, it's not something I can defend. Okay, it's clear terrain, which means I don't get any kind of modifier, and the fortification is insufficient to really hold back a monster unit. He can just come in and frontally assault Loyang and he'll win. We cannot win at Loyang. As much as I wanted to, I'm realizing now it's just not possible. So we're falling back, and we're falling back hard. And I'm going to continue my policy of retreating in China as much as I don't like to. I am definitely an offensive-minded person. I think the best defense is a strong offense. But when it comes to Chinese units, that's just not really possible. They cannot go toe-to-toe with Japanese units. At least at this point in the war, not ever. And with him emptying out the Kwangtung army and bringing all those troops this way, it's only going to get worse and worse all up and down through here. So I've made a executive decision that we're going to pull out of Loyang, and we're also going to pull out of Nanyang, because if we're not holding here, there's no real point in holding this road junction anymore, right? We don't need to keep the supply road open. And again, Nanyang is clear terrain. Can't defend it, right? I have a decent sized force there, but it will not stand up to something like this or something like this. There's just no way. So we're pulling back, and we're going to find some better terrain to defend, and we're just going to give up these two cities. So we're going to lose how many points here? He's going to gain 20 points, 22 points there. He's going to gain 22 points there. Okay. Oh, excuse me, it's late at night here. He's going to gain 44 points on base swings, but we're preserving thousands of troops and hundreds of army loss points by falling back. So the new front line is going to kind of do one of these numbers, right? So that's the situation up north. And down south, we have other issues. He's driving at us from behind this way. He's coming up this way. He's blocked the road here. And he just showed up in Kukong. So we have 6 units of unknown size and strength that just showed up in Kukong. And I'm really hoping that we can defend this. So it's wooded terrain, right? And if you look over here, WD gives you a ×2 defense multiplier. So between that, the size 2 fortifications we already have, and the fact that we have a whopping 1,040 assault value in place, unless this is a massive unit full of armor, I think we can hold at Kukong at least for a while. Unless I'm totally misconstruing the situation, I do have a little bit of faith in Chinese troops in the defensive. So I think we can hold at Kukong. So that is our current Chinese situation. A lot has changed, and my strategy is changing right now because I didn't want to do this, but I don't see any other way. Also, another unit made its appearance here at Pingxiang. It's a size. There's 2 units here. We don't know what size of the composition of it is. We have 1,040 assault value, more or less, in place with size 2 fortifications and rough terrain. And again, if you look at rough terrain, RGH ×2. So between the fortifications, the size of this unit, and the terrain, unless this is some crazy gnarly monster unit, which I don't think he's got, at best these are 2 full divisions, right? And what is the standard size of a Japanese division? About 440, give or take, assault value. We have more troops, we have more assault value, we have the terrain, and we have fortifications. He's not going to take this. So I'm feeling pretty confident with our defensive line right now. My big concern is getting this unit out of here, getting all these units out of there too. If we can save these guys and these guys, I'm going to be really happy with our setup in China right now. And I think we'll have a defensible line for a while. So that's what we got going on in China. In Burma, we continue to reinforce. Nothing really noteworthy to report. We haven't seen any real air activity except for a scout that we shot down last turn. There hasn't been any overt military movement. If he's going to come to us by land, the best way to do it is to rail up to Pisanuloke, and just walk from here to Rabang and all the way across. You can get kind of fancy and try amphibious landings here at Tavoy and take this road, which is a little faster, but then that exposes him to other dangers bringing his ships up, unless he's planning for a massive naval conquest of Rangoon once he takes Singapore. I think he's going to take the land route to start with Moulmein and go that particular direction. So let's take a look at Malaya. He just showed up. No, I guess he didn't. He's got one more hex to go before he gets into Kuala Lumpur. But once he does, this unit is toast. We got about 120 infantry, a couple guns. Basically no power here at all. So this unit will get ejected, and then his rail lines will be wide open from Johor all the way to Bangkok and eventually Singapore. But what we do have is this monster collection of units right here, which is sitting on some really good terrain, right? So what we can do is occasionally poke out when the coast is clear and block and cut off his rail lines, and at least make it harder for him to move troops up and down Malaya. He does have this unit here in Johor, and I think it might be enough to take Singapore. Maybe not initially, but maybe within 2 to 3 turns, these troops plus whatever he's moving in from Mersing will be able to take Singapore, because we just don't have a lot of troops here. So that's Malaya. So let's talk about the action from this last turn, okay? We plastered the heck out of these guys here. I got really aggressive with my air units in the area, and we went full force on this unit. And I am certain that we sank a couple ships, at least 2. I heard sinking sounds that weren't related to my Pope sinking, but of course we don't know exactly what we sank yet because of the fog of war. But I'm pretty sure we sank some stuff, and there's other ships that might be damaged, which are going to slow down this unit, which is moving west, but it won't be out of range of my planes in time. So this is going to probably have to endure one more full attack from my guys before he gets back to Babel and into the clear. But yeah, it was a pretty awesome attack there. We had naval bombers, we had scout planes, we had everything that we could send at him going towards his units here, and we hit him hard. And Lodrik did mention it to me, but I know he wasn't liking that. So we'll keep watching our intelligence reports, but I think we're going to see some sunk ships there in a few days or a few weeks. Unfortunately, with him landing here at Sedate, I got maybe 2 to 3 turns before he's in Manado. So all these units are going to have to evacuate and find somewhere else to go, which is a shame because they're doing great work here right now. We'll have to fall back to Kendari or Ambon, something that's got a fair amount of naval or aviation support. See, Manado currently has only 12. So we actually have places that we can go back to, right? So we can go back to Kendari. We can go to Ambon and have some fallback positions for a while. We can go to Makassar itself, Balikpapan, Cagayan. We have places to go. So I'm not overly concerned about relocating the aircraft. I just like Manado because it juts out into this whole area here. So any ships other than the carriers that have come this way, we can actually do something about. I do want to show you another situation that is bugging me, is this guy. Remember last turn he was kind of over here, right? And I was concerned about him threatening this pathway here for my egress out of Surabaya. But instead, what he's done is come southwest. And I know he's got cruisers in this task force, because if you check this out, see the detection level, 3 of 3, 10 of 10, 3 of 3. He has cruisers with scout planes, and they're spotting some of these units that are retreating from Surabaya. So he's driving southwest, and he's trying to sink these guys. So it's cruisers and destroyers. I don't know how much fuel they've got on board or what kind of legs they got on them. So I'm not sure exactly how far he can penetrate southwest. But we do have a number of ships in danger from this task force. And I would not be surprised if we lose a couple ships before this guy turns around. Hopefully we can punish him on the way back out. But I don't know which way he's going to go. You know, and we just need to kind of figure out how far down he wants to take this before he turns around. And basically he's like he's got a cattle prod and he's pushing my ships at full speed to try to get away from him. And we'll see who runs out of fuel first. Hopefully him. I know a lot of Japanese destroyers tend not to have long legs on them, and he is pretty far away from anywhere he can refuel. Unless he's got some AOs or tankers stashed somewhere that I don't know about. The absolute closest base that he has right now would be Ternate, and I'm almost certain he doesn't have a lot of fuel or forces there to actually load this up, right? So he's going to probably have to drive all the way back to Babel for now to have any chance of refueling that unit. So we'll keep an eye on this, but it's definitely a pain. All right. So here we are. Rabal. That is that Kido Butai fragment that we saw that was ripping up down the coast here a few days ago, right? He came in out this way from Pearl Harbor, came through, parked here, sank a bunch of ships, and he drove back. And now he's at Rabal. So I don't know what he's going to be doing there or how long he plans to stay. I'm hoping he doesn't stay long and he keeps going away, because I'm pretty sure that Rabal at this point isn't heavily reinforced and probably doesn't have enough ships and material there to service the Kido Butai, because that requires a substantial port size and a lot of naval support to fully resupply those carriers. So I'm hoping he just stops here for something and keeps going. Maybe all the way back to Japan. That'd be cool, right? So maybe we'll have an opportunity to get some more stuff into Port Moresby. Or not. I really don't know. We're just going to have to wait and see what he does. But I'll be watching this very closely. We do have good eyes on it because we've got some scouting assets here in Port Moresby. And we can monitor this. Let me see. Is there anything else that's good? Well, we didn't suffer any more sub-attacks this last turn. We got one spotted here. Well, maybe we did suffer a sub-attack, but it was not successful. We do have some supply ships at our bases that are very important to us. And to include, which I'm happy to say now that it's done, we got into Midway safely. And I have a supply ship that is unloading here. And that should bring much needed supplies to Midway for a while, because I'm using it as a recon spot and a layover for ships, airplanes transiting through the Pacific. So we need to keep that supplied. So we didn't see any sub attack there when we pulled into port. We'll keep an eye on it for the upcoming turns, but I think we're getting a little bit of break from all of these dang subs at all these bases. So yeah, that's about it. Oh, one last thing. We do have our anti-commerce rating subs making their appearance here in Japan, and I won't show you exactly what their patrol routes are because they're varied and they're all over the place. We're not static at all, but we're already making contact with his ships out here in this area. So it's gonna distract him a bit, and it may make him have to double up or triple up on his escorts for any supply ships heading south into the Dutch East Indies or down into Rabal Solomon's area. He's going to have to go through a wall of subs, perhaps, and it may just make him think twice about doing it. And all of these are going to be based out of Dutch Harbor, which is over here, which we are building up. I'm really happy with what's going on in Dutch Harbor. We're building up an airfield. We're going to extend the size of the port. We got lots of fuel going in. I got troops coming in there. Dutch Harbor is going to be our very big base for us for our submarine efforts in Hawaii. And I will defend it very, very strongly. If Lodrik is trying to come up through the Aleutian Islands, he's going to hit a brick wall when he gets to Dutch Harbor, because I'm not giving that up. Anyway, I think that's it. I think that's it for now. Oh, one more update. One more update. Right now we have the Raleigh. Okay, remember that took a torp a round or two ago? A turn or two ago? I think we might be okay. It may make it back because the fires are out and the flooding damage actually ticked down one point. Now, granted, it's still very precarious and we could lose the ship, but typically when you see damage going down and not up, it means that the damage control parties are making progress and they're actually reversing the the trend for the damage. So I'm hoping as the turns continue to go on, we reduce this flood damage, we increase our speed from 1 hex per pulse, and we can get this ship back. Right now I have it going to Hilo, but I will probably change that routing as we get closer just to avoid his subs, because they're everywhere right now. But I added a few extra escorts to this as well, just to help get it back in, because I do not want to lose this ship. It's worth a lot of points, and it's a matter of pride to me that we rescue this thing. So we're going to get it back into Hawaii, get it patched up, and we'll get it back in service. One last thing I'll talk about since we're already staring at it is I've decided to pull back all my anti-submarine patrols because I don't think they were that effective. And he's not really staying close to the islands anymore. So he's heading out to raid the convoy lanes. And that's just going to be very hard for me to patrol anyway. So I'm going to use all those destroyers and minesweepers and all those things I was using for ASW and just use them as convoy escorts. I think they're better served that way. His subs are going to do what they're going to do. They're going to hit us or they're not. But if he's not going to stay in close to Pearl, I don't want to waste the fuel sending out tons of ASW patrols that aren't going to get any action. So we'll use them as escorts instead. All right, now I'm really done. I've been talking for a long time. This went way longer than I wanted. But there's a lot going on in this turn, and I wanted to kind of explain the things that I'm seeing and the things that we did. So if you feel like I didn't explain something very well, please ask me. I'll be happy to go over it again. If you want some more detail, I'll give it to you as much as I can without giving away OPSEC. But I'll tell you what you want to know as much as I can. So thank you so much for watching and listening to me talk forever. I hope you enjoyed the action this turn. I think there's going to be more next turn because Lodrik is still in danger with where he's put his ships right now. And I'm going to make him pay. He's not leaving the Monado area in the Dutch East Indies without paying for it. And of course, we get to see what's going to happen with this. Because this large unit here may be within range of taking out some of my ships next turn. So let's keep an eye on this and see what happens. It should be exciting. Okay, I think that's all I got for now. Y'all take care and I'll catch you on the next one.